Hey, hi everyone, this is Sudhir Singh and welcome to my channel Mr. Redmond. This is the next class in interview batch or a banking and financial awareness batch started by me, and the class will be based on the Basel norms. So in this class I'll discuss about what are Basel 1, Basel 2, Basel 3 norms, what is the history behind the Basel norms, what is CAR, CRAR, and what is domestically systematically important banks. So let's start the class. First, we will discuss about the history of the Basel norm. So, as I think all we all know, like Basel is basically a city in the Switzerland. So, where the headquarter of the Bank for International Settlement, we called it as BIS. Bank for International Settlement is the world's oldest international financial organization, which was established on 17th May 1930. So in 1974, one committee that we know as Basel Committee on Banking Supervision that was established by the central bank governors of 10 countries. And those 10 countries are US, UK, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Sweden, Switzerland, and Belgium. Then all the central bank governors meet at the BIS headquarters that is in Basel, Switzerland for a Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. So under this committee will decide how much capital adequacy ratio or capital to risk weighted ratio need to be maintained by all the banks of the world so that they can withstand with the unexpected loss or the future loss, or if some economic crisis occur, then they should have enough capital to meet those losses. So their BCBS, that is Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, they decided a norm. That norm we called as Basel norms. Next, we will discuss about the capital adequacy ratio (CAR) or capital to risk weighted asset ratio (CRAR) that bank needs to be maintained for to withstand with the future losses. So the formula for CAR is very simple. The bank's capital divided by risk weighted asset. Meaning of risk weighted asset is like suppose bank have a certain asset, so in that asset some percentage is not recoverable in that particular asset, so that not recoverable thing we called as risk weighted asset. We take example in that. So suppose bank has given a loan of 20,000 rupees to some person. So in that 20,000 loan is asset of bank because bank will get those 20,000 loan as an installment from the customer, and let 5% is the risk associated with that loan. So here risk weight is 5%, asset of the bank is 20,000 rupees. So risk weighted asset is basically 5% of the 20,000 rupees. So here the risk weighted asset is 1,000 rupees. Now bank need to maintain adequate capital against this RWA, that is risk weighted asset. So suppose here CAR for the bank is 11.5%. So capital need to be maintained by bank is CAR into RWA. So CAR is 11.5% into RWA is 1000 rupees. So total 115 rupees. This capital fund need to be maintained by bank for the proper functioning of the bank in case of that loan is not recoverable or that risk weight asset is not recoverable. So different types of bank have to maintain different percentage of CAR. So most of the bank have to manage CAR, that is 11.5%. RRB need to manage 9%. Small finance bank and payment bank, for these two types of bank the CAR is 15%. Now we will discuss about the Basel 1. So Basel 1 is basically introduced in 1988 and also applied in 1988, but it is applied in India in 1999. For Basel 1, CAR is in between 4% to 8%. It is variable for different countries. But for India, it is 1% more than the global. That is for India, CAR is 9%. there is some difference between Basel 1 and Basel 2. In Basel 1, total capital is basically Tier 1 capital, but in Basel 2, we are considering Tier 2 capital also. The basic difference between Tier 1 capital and Tier 2 capital is Tier 1 capital is bank's core capital that includes disclosed reserves and equity capital. But Tier 2 capital is other capital like supplementary or subordinate capital, undisclosed reserve that are not on the financial statement of the bank. But Tier 1 capital is on the financial statement of the on the financial statement of the bank. So if the bank has more Tier 1 capital, then bank is in good condition. Now we will talk about the Basel II norms. It is introduced in 1999, applied in 2006, but in India it is applied in 2009. CAR is 8% to 12%. For India, CAR is 9%. Now, the Basel to consider both the capital, Tier 1 capital plus Tier 2 capital, but it focus on increasing the Tier 1 capital and reducing the Tier 2 capital. So it is basically a beneficial. Then Basel 1. Now in India, I already said like CAR is 9% for Basel 2, but in that Tier 1 capital is 7% and Tier 2 capital is 2%. In Basel II, three pillars introduced, that is minimum capital requirement, supervisory review process, and market discipline. So in that minimum capital requirement, bank has to maintain minimum capital to absorb the risk. Supervisory review process. So in that they have regulating tools and framework for dealing the risk that bank face. And so these are the three pillars in Basel II. Now we will discuss about the Basel III. Basel III introduced in 2010, applied in 2013, but India it is applied on 1st October 2021. CAR is 10 to 14%. For India it is 11.5%. But here two more buffer introduced in Basel III, that is capital conservation buffer 2.5%, counter cyclical buffer 0 to 2.5%, and one more thing introduced, leverage ratio 3%. Now the Tier 1 capital 2.5% more added in the Tier 1 capital. So now Tier 1 capital is 9.5% and Tier 2 capital is 2% in Basel 3. So overall 11.5%. Now we will talk about those two buffer that is introduced in Basel 3 to improve the Basel 3 norm. So why capital conservation buffer introduced? So basic aim of introducing capital conservation buffer to ensure the banks maintain a cushion of capital that can be used to absorb losses during the period of financial and economic stress. So 3 years back, we have Corona. Because of that, the banks of India or in the world, all the banks are in critical condition. So because of those economic stress and financial stress, this capital conservation buffer introduced so that bank maintain 2.5% of capital, that is the extra cushion to withstand with the losses that occurs during financial and economic stresses. Then next is counter cyclical buffer. The aim of this buffer is to increase capital requirement in good times and decrease the same in bad times. So this counter cyclical buffer aim to encourage the lending when times are tough or in bad times. So that's why these two types of buffer introduced in Basel 3, and it even strengthen the Basel 3, and it improves the Basel 3 norms so that the banks can absorb the shocks arising from financial and economic stress. Now we will talk about the DSIBs, domestically systematically important banks. These banks are called as too big to fail. Means they these banks given the status of too big to fail bank because it has the asset size of at least 2% of the country's GDP. And those three banks are SBI, HDFC, and ICICI Bank. These three banks are called as domestically systematically important banks. Now, as we know, the banks has to maintain 11.5% CAR, but these DCIPS bank have to maintain some extra CAR according to their bucket. So, in DCIPS, we have divided the banks in buckets from 1 to 5. In the first bucket, we have ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank. So, in that, they have to maintain 0.2% of extra CAR. Then in the third bucket, State Bank of India is there. They have to manage 0.6% extra CAR. But from 1st April 2025, some changes will come. Like State Bank of India will move to fourth bucket, so they have to maintain 0.8% after 1st April 2025, and HDFC will move to second bracket after April 1, 2025. So after that, they have to manage 0.4% of extra CR. So this is about the basal norms classes. So if you have any doubt regarding the classes, then you can message me on the comment section of this video, or you can message me on sudhir.singh07 Instagram ID. The detailed PDF of this class I'll upload on my website www.mradamant.in, and you will get the PDF in the download section of that website. Thank you for watching my video.